Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back once again to TVN News, um, where vision takes center stage to audio. And yes, we are going to be doing a news recap because the last news we did was from Thursday of last week, which was the 4th of December. And today we're going to continue with that. We're going to show you guys what happened between the 5th, and it's going to take us all the way into today. So the 5th was a Friday, and Saturday and Sunday. So here we go. This is what's making news here, and we are going to read it in its entirety. Now note that most of these are coming from our news Bahamas. So yeah. Anyways, here we go. It says the government is working on sweeping changes to labor law. Interesting. A new Employment Act and Industrial Relations Act are being drafted. Among the plan updates, adding mental health leave and paternity leave for workers. Wow. Also in recent news, authorities charged 2 accused violent offenders over a fake prison bail scam. Now, I wonder what this was about. Guess you'll soon see. Involving illegally obtained cell phones used to try to secure their release. Wow. A serious incident. A cruise passenger was caught at the Nassau cruise port with a gun and ammunition. She now faces a large... What was this? So I was fixing something. She now faces a large fine or prison time. Okay. So now in news of tourism. This is always a big deal. Alright. It says, got a boost. Canada's airlift for the winter season reached a new high, and plans were announced for a 350-room resort on the former Melia site. Wow. By the Bahama. By the Bahama developers, yeah. And yeah, that one came from our news Bahamas and Bahamas Local. On the social front, the Bahamas Girls Guide Association, or Girl Guides Association, held a rally in Grand Bahama on December 5th protesting rising gender-based violence and calling on young women to speak out. That's very important. And that is from the Tribune. Alright, big picture take. Government reforms, serious crime enforcement, and tourism expansion. A mix of progress and ongoing challenges for the islands this weekend. Well, that was last weekend. Just keep that in mind. Alright, let's go back to global headlines that happened from the 5th to the 8th, which is today. War in Ukraine. We guess what? That's gonna continue. You guys think it's gonna end? I don't think so. It didn't end from when it started, and it's not gonna end now. War in Ukraine, like I said, diplomacy intensifies. Now it's saying Volodymyr Zelensky met with European leaders in London. Keir Starmer, UK. Emmanuel Macron, France. And Frederick Merz, sorry, these names are hard, Germany, to coordinate support for Ukraine. They agreed to prepare a revised peace plan to submit to the U.S. soon. Wow, interesting. Another from Reuters. AP News, yeah, we know that. We know where that comes from. If you listen to the Guardian radio, they do AP News all the time. So this is from Reuters, AP News. Reuters and AP News. That's where this came from. Alright. But major sticking points, especially territory, eastern Ukraine and Donbass, remain unresolved. Well, obviously. Zelensky reiterated that Ukraine won't cede land. Okay, that's from Reuters. Yes, there we go. European leaders also signaled positive movement towards using frozen Russian sovereign assets to fund reconstruction in Ukraine, part of a broader push for post-war support and leverage over Moscow. It's from Reuters. Alright, global economy and markets. Cautious optimism. Jitters. Alright, so it says in global markets, investors are watching closely as government bond yields surge and bond markets falter, especially in the US and Europe. That's pushing down prices for long-term bonds, stirring worry about national debt risks and economic stability worldwide. Wow. Not from Barron's. Wanna know how that's spelled? BARRONS. Apostrophe S. Sorry. In Europe, the investor morale index for Eurozone ticked up slightly in December, modestly better than last month. But major economies like Germany remain a drag, with deep economic concerns still present. That's from Reuters. Alright, entertainment/media shakeups. Big surprise in media and entertainment. Paramount This thing keeps slipping. Sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to fix it. Alright, it says Paramount's Guidance launched a massive $108.4 billion hostile bid to acquire Warner Brothers. Yeah, we heard about that one. Warner Brothers Discovery, WBD, going head to head with Netflix's previous $83 billion offer. See, this is interesting because I thought Netflix is the one to start it. I think Netflix did start it, and then these guys just wanted to be like, hey, let's be copycats. But not only that, but we can put down a bigger sum of a banknote worthy deal, right? So I guess this is what is happening. You call that an auction. That's exactly what's going on. They're auctioning this thing. If successful, the deal would include WBD's cable assets like CNN, not just the streaming studios. So they're gonna get the cable stuff as well. That's interesting. Didn't know that it would do such stuff, but okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Didn't think of it that way, but do we see where they're coming from? We really see where they're coming from. And that is coming from The Guardian. Not the NASA Guardian, The Guardian. The bid has sparked regulatory union and diversity concerns. Some fear consolidation could reduce content diversity and harm jobs. Most definitely. And that's from The Guardian. Alright, what does this mean for you guys? The labor reforms could make a real difference for everyday workers. Mental health leave and paternity leave could shift working life culture. Good story to highlight. Well, I would think so. Everybody knows what the areas of tourism is. This can mean it's a lifeline thing. New resort stuff means more jobs and more visitors, and you know you know what's up with that. Well, so there you go. That is a recap of the news that happened. But I'm pretty sure that that's not everything. Let's see what's going on. If I look at the NASA Guardian. Ooh. What do we have here? Well, I guess we're gonna find out right now. Because this is what I did the last time we were here. We went through this page and we're going to go through this again. If I'm not reading, you notice I'm not reading the Tribune because the Tribune doesn't have that much to offer. Unlike the NASA Guardian that has GOVT to delete controversial section of smuggling migrants bill. Yeah, I heard about that today. And it says our young men are in crisis. Yeah, okay. We can see that clearly. Second term not about ego. Wow, says the Prime Minister. Poker player fined for medical marijuana. Wow. Wonder what happened there. Where Bahamians Ragged Island family had to wait 24 hours with deceased loved one before help came. Whoa. All right. That is insane. Insanely terrible. The man found dead on side of the road. Okay. Canadian tourist arrivals up. Yeah, we just read about that earlier. Okay. And these are notes that I just read on Thursday, so it doesn't look like that much stuff came up. Now here's a question. I love these questions that the Guardian have on their page because they're just so insightful. Do you think the government should prioritize restoring essential services like police presence and proper medical facilities to remote family islands? Well, I tell you what, just like we just read earlier, the people in Ragged Island, if I'm correct, I think that's what I read, and I'm going to go back up to confirm because I am not misconstruing anything. But I will say, we are going to go back because I want to see this. Yes, Ragged Island family had to wait 24 hours before help came with their deceased loved one. If we had police presence and medical facilities on these islands, I don't think they had to wait 24 hours before someone had delivered help to those people. I think they'd have gotten straight in like an hour or even quicker. Probably if the right medical facilities were in place, they'd have gotten straight right then and there when the person died. That's what I think. I really think so. Strongly. That's my take on it. Tourism gains celebrated by PLP, but Bahamians still face hardship. Well, we've been facing hardship from since slavery. What do you think about 2025? You do the math and get back to me on that one. Oh, this is a nice, generous donation that they did. NTP donates $50,000 to strengthen Caribbean maritime education and support students impacted by Hurricane Melissa. That is actually pretty nice. I love the fact that they're helping these people. That's actually pretty nice. BMCC and Green Sea Chartering donate 20 computers to CR Walker Senior High School. Hey, CR Walker, I think you guys need those computers. If you get them, use them in the best way possible. Don't just let the students have at them because they have them supervised. Cause, yeah, have them supervised. I'm not a sports fan, so I'm not gonna be reading sports like that, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not a sports fan. FNM says kill the bill. Wow. BTBI employees gather outside the OPM. Pintard says the David administration did not do a good job. Well, I guess you could see that in reflection of your people, right? Body found off of Gladstone Road. Okay. Rick Fox can give a much needed shot in the arm to the struggling FNM. Okay. Well, I guess this should be enough for right now. I think I've rambled enough. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this in. Tomorrow, we will pick this back up because there's a lot to go into. You know what I'm going to do? I am actually going to take a deep dive into these articles because I just read off these titles, but I'm going to take a deep dive into these articles tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys stay tuned. This is TVN News. And you guys stay tuned for tomorrow's update. We're going to take a deep dive into these articles. You guys take care and have a safe evening. Hey, do me a favor and, you know, if you feel these vibes, hit subscribe and stay healthy, stay safe, and keep on vibing. Thank you.